What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. We are back with some more Punishing Gray Raven. But before we get into this video, I do want to say thank you to Kuro Technologies for the 500 R&D tickets. Thank you so much. That is 2 pulls in our banner, so that is pretty nice. Thank you so much for that one. And today's video is going to be about how to beat stage 5-8 in the story mode. So we go into stage 5-8. This sucker right here. Now you have to do this with, you have to keep all your members alive. You have to die less than once, which keep all your members alive. And you have to clear with 150 seconds. And the reason this stage is so hard is because the main boss has a shield and can actually regenerate. It can actually increase its life. Well, not increase its life, but replenish its life throughout the fight if you're not doing enough damage. So there's some key tips and tricks to be able to destroy this boss. Now, these 3 characters are the characters that the game is going to actually give you for free. They're going to give you Lucia, they're going to give you Liv, and they're going to give you Nanami. Now, Nanami is extremely important for this team up. And the reason that she's very important is because her QTE skill, go over and train, we go over skill, I believe it's right here. Her QTE skill actually spins and slices the target. What this skill actually does is it actually cuts open the shield that the boss has in 5-8, and you can start dealing insane damage to him. Now, how do you use a QTE skill? Well, if we get out of here and we go into the training mode, go to trial zone here, and we go to solo, right? We'll click on that. We'll hit solo battle, begin mission. Okay, and this is how you figure out how to do everything in the game as far as your actual gameplay. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we want to use Nanami's QTE skill. Now, right now, if you notice in the top right hand corner, Nanami and Liv are not, they're not like glowing, right? There's a little bit of a glow around them, but they're not blinking. Okay, so what you're trying to do is you want to try to bring in Nanami. How do you do that? Well, the orb next to the orb all the way to the right is the one that you're going to use to actually bring in Nanami. You can see that they have matching colors. It's like a light blue, and Nanami's got a light blue around her exterior, and then Liv has got a yellow blur around her exterior. So the yellow orb is actually going to bring in the QTE skill for Liv, and the blue orb is actually going to bring in the QTE skill for Nanami. Now, what you got to make sure is you got to have 3 pings or 3 skills in order all together, hit them, then hit the character icon. It'll bring in that character, they'll do their QTE skill, and then bam, you can start doing insane damage. So we'll just go ahead and try to bring in 3 of these blue orbs. Nope. We'll just keep that going. Okay, all right. So now you see we got 3 of those blue orbs. So once you hit those orbs, see her glowing? Bring her in and boom. And she will do a lot of damage, but the most important thing is that she's actually going to break that shield. That's how you're going to use your QTE skills, or just use your characters as strikers to do damage to your opponent, right? Or apply a certain effect to your opponent, like maybe a debuff or what have you. Whoops, we want to get out of here. We don't want to stay in there. Now, currently my BP, or my battle power on my characters, is much stronger than what it was originally when I did this. Whenever I cleared 5-8 the first time, I actually didn't have a whole lot of BP. My BP was around 1300. You can see I got 2147 next to Lucia's name right there. And so, yeah, I mean, you're going to do a lot more damage. The next thing to also remember is that whenever you're using Lucia, right, she's going to be your main damage dealer if you're using these characters for your team up, is that for her skills, you know, this red skill is the one that's going to do the most damage. Now, the thing about Lucia is any 3 orbs that you bring out, whether it's 3 blue, 3 yellow, or 3 red, and then you get another red, if you hit those 3 orbs and then you hit the red next to it, she's going to go into dual blade mode, right? And that's where she's going to be doing an insane amount of damage. Launches consecutive attacks of Lotus Quick Blade, dealing blah, 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 right? Here we go. Dual blades right here. So core passive, pinging a red orb within 4 seconds of any 3 ping. So any color of 3 ping that you hit, and then if another red orb comes out and you hit that red orb, you're going to go into dual blades, and you're going to start applying an insane amount of damage. That's very important whenever you're playing with Lucia. So we'll go in here and we'll go against 5-8. Now, the other thing to remember about this is over in your right-hand corner, you have data and support, okay? You need to make sure that your support is on. What this is going to do is it's going to allow other teammates or other members come in here and they're going to be able to do damage. So depending on how strong their character is, depending on how good of a player they are, is really going to depend on how much damage you do, as well as bringing in Nanami. Sometimes you don't have to bring in Nanami. It really depends. And also, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit here, but also with Nanami, on the 7th day that you play the game from a login event, you actually get this new weapon here, and this baby's pretty insane. Attacks have a 30% chance to inflict broken armor, reducing an enemy's defenses by 5% for 3 seconds, and it can be stacked for 5 times. So this can actually go up to 25%, decreasing the enemy's defenses. So when you have this weapon, which everybody's going to get on 7 days of gameplay, you'll actually be able to decrease the defenses of the boss. You're going to be applying a debuff, as well as cutting the shield to where you can, or breaking the shield, so you can do a lot more damage to this opponent. So we'll see how I do here. We'll give it a try. Make sure you always have your support on again, guys. The next thing is to know the mechanics of this boss. You know, how does it play? So something that's beautiful about this game is that it requires a lot of skill to actually play it. You really have to know how to dodge, how to attack, know when to use certain orbs and such. So in the very beginning of the fight, the boss is going to strike. There we go. There we go. And now, okay, we hit our ultimate. And boom. Pretty much dead, right? So once you get those 3 blue orbs down at the bottom, hit that thing, hit Nanami, okay? Bring her in so she can actually break that shield. If you're not using her and you're not bringing her in, you're going to have a lot more trouble unless your support character has a lot of damage. Now, we actually kind of bulldozed through that time, and actually it was just mainly Lucia's power, because of my BP power, that I was able to do that fairly easily. I mean, it wasn't the best gameplay. I didn't dodge every single attack. If the boss hits you with that first strike, it will actually do 3 spins and attack you a whole lot more, and it does a lot of damage to you, so you got to be really careful and really wary of that. I'm going to come back in here, and I'm going to try this one more time, because I didn't really notice that meter getting broke, that shield getting broke when I brought in Nanami. So we'll see if we can do this again. But it's really difficult for me to sit and talk and play. I'm really one of those players that really got to focus whenever I'm playing in a game. Whenever I'm sitting there trying to chat and explain what things are going on, it kind of screws me up a lot. All right, here we go. So there I brought in Liv. Oh, crap. There we go. We entered the Matrix. We go use our ultimate skill, and boom. Not too bad. It's definitely much more difficult whenever you have a lot lower BP, for sure. But you can get it done. You know, just make sure that you bring in Nanami. And if you are having trouble, once you have that 7-day login and you get her new chainsaw, it will be easier to be able to do it. But you can do it. I mean, just make sure you're also bringing in a support to be able to get through 5-8. You might have to play it a few times. I mean, sometimes it takes a few tries. I know I had to play it a few times to get through it because I was just waiting for a good support to come in. And I didn't even realize that when I brought in Nanami that she could actually break the shield. So, you know, that's a That was a big tip that I learned and actually helped me a whole lot whenever you're using her. Plus, not to mention, when you get the new weapon, you can decrease the defenses of the boss. You're going to be able to do a lot more damage to him. But you just got to make sure that whenever them 3 blue orbs come out, that you hit Nanami so you can break the shield, decrease the defenses of the boss, and then start applying as much damage as you can. So hopefully this will help some of you out there as far as clearing 5-8. I know some people don't have too much trouble with it. Some players have a lot of trouble with it. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.